Welcome, dear traveler, to a journey unlike any other. Not across the vibrant chaos of modern cities, nor over windswept plains or towering mountains, but through the silent, shadowed corridors of time itself. Tonight we'll wander into a mystery older than the oldest tales, secrets cradled in the earth's embrace, beneath sands, stones, and waves that hum with the weight of forgotten truths. Let this story be your guide, lulling your mind into a deep restorative slumber carried by the whispers of a past that lingers just beyond the edge of memory. Its voice soft as starlight, gentle as a dream. Close your eyes now. Let your breath deepen, each inhale drawing in the cool, quiet calm of the night, each exhale releasing the burdens of the day, letting them dissolve like mist in the morning sun, fading into nothingness. Feel your body sinking into the softness of your bed, your limbs growing heavy, your shoulders softening, your heart slowing to a gentle, steady rhythm that echoes the pulse of the earth. As you rest, imagine a vast, endless desert under a sky ablaze with stars, their light shimmering like 1,000 distant promises. The air is warm, scented with sun-baked earth, the faint tang of ancient stone, and the distant whisper of river reeds swaying in the breeze. The silence is profound, broken only by the soft sigh of wind over dunes like the breath of time itself, carrying secrets from an age long forgotten. Beneath this desert, truths sleep, waiting just as you are about to, their mysteries a gentle invitation to drift. We tell ourselves a simple story of human beginnings, a comforting tale of slow, fumbling steps towards civilization, a journey of trial and error, of lessons hard learned. We picture early humans, tentative and unsure, crafting crude tools from flint and bone, building fragile shelters of wood and straw, their hands calloused from the struggle to survive. We imagine civilization as a fragile flame, kindled gradually in the fertile valleys of ancient rivers, its light growing stronger with each passing generation, each mistake a stepping stone to progress. But tonight we'll pause and ask a question that lingers in the quiet corners of archaeological digs, a question that hums beneath the surface of history like a half-remembered dream, stirring the soul with its quiet insistence, its gentle pull toward the unknown. What if the world's oldest civilization wasn't the first? What if the cities we celebrate as humanity's dawn were built on the foundations of something older, something lost, something we've been trying to remember ever since? The unsettling perfection of Sumer. Our journey begins in the deserts of ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, where the sands have guarded their secrets for millennia. Their grains whispering tales of a time when the world was young, when the stars seemed closer. Their light a guide for those who knew how to listen. Beneath these dunes, archaeologists uncovered something extraordinary. Cities that rose from the earth as if summoned by a dream. Their walls gleaming under the relentless sun. Their streets alive with the pulse of life. Picture Uruk, its towers casting long shadows across the baked earth, its streets bustling with the clatter of carts, the murmur of merchants haggling over spices, grain, and shimmering beads. The chants of priests rising from towering temples like a song to the heavens. The air is thick with the scent of baked clay, sesame oil, and the faint sweetness of dates ripening in the sun. Their fragrance mingling with the earthy tang of the nearby Euphrates, its waters glinting like a ribbon of silver under the sky. These weren't the crude settlements of a people just learning to build. their walls crumbling under the weight of inexperience. They were masterpieces appearing fully formed, like a mirage made real, their stones humming with purpose, their design a testament to a knowledge that felt ancient even then. Imagine the Sumerians celebrated as the cradle of civilization, not struggling to invent their world, but stepping into it with a confidence that defies explanation. Their hands guided by a blueprint they did not draw. Their writing, cuneiform, emerged not as hesitant scratches on clay, but as a sophisticated script, its wedge-shaped marks pressed with surgical precision, recording laws, trade agreements, and poetry with a clarity that echoes across millennia, each mark a whisper of a truth we cannot fully grasp. Their mathematics, built on a base 60 system, was so elegant it still divides our hours into minutes, our circles into degrees, its logic woven into the fabric of our modern world, a thread that stretches from ancient clay to the clocks on our walls. Yet no one can say where this knowledge was born, as if it sprang from the earth itself, unbidden like a river finding its course through a barren land. Their myths speak of the Anunnaki, celestial beings who descended from a sky ablaze with stars, their silhouettes framed against the cosmos like guardians of a forgotten truth, their voices soft as the wind carrying secrets older than the mountains. These teachers, the stories whisper, brought the gifts of writing, numbers, and the knowledge of the stars, their presence a fleeting glimpse of something greater, something beyond human memory. Picture their temples, ziggurats rising like stepped mountains, their foundations aligned with constellations that haven't held those positions for millennia. Their stones cool under the touch of moonlight, their surfaces worn by the hands of countless worshippers. These structures weren't mere buildings, they were cosmic maps, their angles and orientations whispering of a knowledge that stretched beyond the horizon, a knowledge that felt like a memory of something lost. The ziggurats stood as sentinels, their steps climbing toward the heavens, their shadows pooling like ink on the earth below, each one a silent vow to remember. And their flood stories, tales of a great deluge that reshaped the world, echo across cultures that never met, from the mountains of Anatolia to the valleys of the Indus, from the Nile's banks to the distant shores of the Americas, from the dreaming tracks of Aboriginal Australia to the ancient chronicles of China. A shared memory of a cataclysm etched into the collective dreams of humanity, as if the earth itself remembers a truth we've forgotten, its voice a low hum beneath the sands, a lullaby that carries you deeper into the quiet of the night. The Sumerians' flood epic, the tale of Ziusudra, speaks of a man chosen to preserve life, his ark a vessel of hope amid chaos, a story mirrored in the Babylonian Utnapishtim, the Hebrew Noah, the Vedic Manu, the Mayan tales of survival, the Chinese legend of Nuwa repairing the heavens. How could such distant peoples share the same dream, unless it was rooted in a truth older than their cities, older than the rivers that cradled them? Everything, the cities, the writing, the astronomy, appeared as if by design, as if someone or something had pressed play on a civilization already complete, its blueprint etched in the stars above, its purpose a mystery that hums in the silence. The scribe's burden. Imagine a Sumerian scribe, a young man named Enkidu, sitting in the cool shade of a temple courtyard, the air scented with myrrh, cedar, and the distant murmur of the Euphrates, its waters lapping gently against the banks. His reed stylus hovers over a tablet of wet clay. its surface smooth and yielding like the earth after a rain, its texture cool against his fingers. Enkidu is learning the art of cuneiform, his hands trembling with the weight of responsibility, his heart pounding with the enormity of his task. Each mark he presses into the clay is not just a symbol, but a link to something greater, a chain stretching back to teachers he will never meet, their voices lost in the mists of time. His master, an elder with eyes like polished obsidian, speaks of the Me, divine principles that govern the world, delivered by the Anunnaki in a time before memory, their wisdom as vast as the sky, as deep as the river. Enkidu's task is to preserve, not to create, to hold fast to a knowledge that feels both sacred and fragile. He copies lists of stars, their paths across the sky recorded with a precision that makes his head spin, their movements a dance he can only hope to understand. He transcribes laws that feel too complex for a world so young, rules that govern trade, marriage, and justice with a clarity that seems eternal. Their words a tapestry of order woven from chaos. As he works, the temple's shadow lengthens, the air growing cooler, the stars emerging one by one above, their light a soft caress on his face. He wonders who first taught his people to read the sky, to carve their truths into clay, to build cities that mirrored the heavens. Were they human or something else? The question lingers, a quiet hum in his mind as he presses another wedge into the tablet, his hands steady with purpose, his breath slow and rhythmic, matching the pulse of the world around him. The clay feels alive, a vessel for memory, a bridge to a past he cannot see but can feel, its weight grounding him even as it pulls him toward the stars. Enkidu's story is one of countless others, each scribe a guardian of knowledge, their tablets a lifeline to a past they cannot fully grasp. Their work feels urgent, as if they are racing against time to preserve something that might otherwise be lost forever. A truth that hums in the silence. A truth that invites you to let go, to drift, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. The silence of but who designed this world? And what became of those who first drew the plans? If you've ever felt that history holds chapters we've yet to read, that we're living in the shadow of a story half forgotten, then you're ready to hear the whispers beneath the sand, to feel the weight of a truth that lingers just out of reach, its presence as soft as a dream. For buried under 5,000 years of accepted history lies evidence that challenges everything we know, a silence that speaks louder than words, a silence that invites you to listen with your heart. Step back to 1922, standing beside Dr. Charles Leonard Woolley in the excavation pits of the sun high overhead, its heat a heavy hand on your shoulders. The air is thick with the scent of dust and time, the horizon shimmering with the mirage of distant rivers, the ground beneath your feet a patchwork of crumbled stone and shifting sand. Woolley expected to find the crude beginnings of human cities, the tentative steps of a people learning to live together, their efforts marked by the scars of failure, their walls leaning, their tools rough-hewn. Instead, he found perfection, a city that seemed to defy time itself, its stones whispering of a knowledge that felt ancient even then. Picture streets laid out in precise grids, their lines as straight as if drawn with a celestial compass, the stones worn smooth by countless footsteps, their surfaces gleaming in the sunlight. Drainage systems engineered with a precision that would impress a modern architect, channels carved to carry water with mathematical efficiency, their walls lined with baked clay that shimmered like polished bronze. Walls stretched for hundreds of yards, their foundations hewn into bedrock with a confidence that spoke of builders who knew no failure, their hands guided by a vision that felt eternal. The air hums with the faint vibration of their ambition, as if the stones themselves remember the hands that shaped them, the voices that planned their design, the dreams that drove them to build. This was meant to be humanity's first attempt at city building, yet it looked like the work of masters who had honed their craft for centuries, their skill evident in every angle, every stone, every perfectly aligned street. Wooly stood in that trench, his hands dusted with the earth of ages, and felt the silence. Not an empty silence, but a deliberate one, as if someone long ago had erased the traces of what came before, leaving only the echo of their presence, a whisper that lingers in the air, inviting you to listen, to drift, to let go. The architect's dream. Imagine an architect in Ur, a woman named Shulgi, her eyes tracing the horizon as the sun sets, painting the sky in hues of amber and rose. The air is warm, scented with dust and the faint sweetness of tamarisk. The city around her alive with the hum of evening. Children laughing, the clink of pottery, the soft chant of priests in the distance. Shulgi stands before a half-built wall, her hands resting on a clay tablet marked with plans, its lines a map of order. A blueprint for a city that feels both new and impossibly old. She has heard the stories of the Anunnaki, the teachers who came from the heavens, their voices soft as starlight, their knowledge vast as the desert. They taught her people to build, to measure, to align their cities with the stars, to create something that would endure. Shulgi's plans are precise, her measurements exact. But as she works, she feels a question stirring in her heart. Who were these teachers? And why does the city she builds feel like a memory, a reconstruction of something lost? The tablet in her hands is heavy, not just with clay, but with the weight of a truth she cannot fully grasp. A truth that hums in the silence, a truth that invites her to dream. Shulgi's work is a vow, a promise to preserve what her people have been given. To build a city that mirrors the heavens, that holds fast to a knowledge that feels both sacred and fragile. And as she places another stone, her breath slow and steady, she feels the presence of those ancient teachers. Their guidance a whisper in the wind, a lullaby that carries her toward the stars, toward the quiet of sleep. The cuneiform enigma. Wooly knelt in the dust, lifting a cuneiform tablet still warm from the desert sun, its surface rough against his fingers, heavy with the weight of time, its texture a reminder of the hands that shaped it. It was a tax record, its wedge-shaped marks cataloging grain and livestock with a bureaucratic precision we might recognize in a modern office. The columns neat as a ledger, their order a testament to a mind that understood systems, that valued clarity. But this was no ordinary record. The script was flawless, the grammar complex, the syntax flexible enough to capture both mundane accounting and cosmic poetry, its versatility a marvel that seemed to defy the age it came from. This tablet and thousands like it didn't show the clumsy steps of a civilization learning to write, the hesitant scratches of a people finding their voice. There were no crude markings, no trial and error attempts to capture sound in clay, no faltering steps toward meaning. Instead, the earliest kunai form was a masterpiece, as if the Sumerians had been handed a fully formed language, its rules already perfected, its structure a gift from minds they could only imagine. At Uruk, archaeologists found a metropolis of 80,000 souls, its districts alive with the clink of craftsmen's tools, the murmur of merchants' voices, the chant of priests in towering ziggurats that rose like geometric mountains toward the heavens, their steps a stairway to the stars. The air was rich with the scent of incense, baked bread, and the faint tang of river water. The streets bustling with the rhythm of a city in its prime, its energy a pulse that echoed through time. Archives recorded legal disputes with the precision of a courtroom, their tablets detailing contracts, disputes, and resolutions with a clarity that suggested centuries of legal tradition, each mark a testament to a society that knew how to govern itself. Schools known as aduba or tablet houses taught standardized texts to young scribes, their lessons not experiments but memorizations of mathematical tables, astronomical observations, and religious hymns. Their words a litany of preservation, a vow to hold fast to what had been given. Workshops produced goods with an industrial rigor, their pottery and tools crafted to specifications so precise they suggested a level of quality control that should have taken generations to develop, their uniformity a mystery that hums in the silence. All of it appeared around 3200 BCE, as if summoned into being by a single coordinated will. A civilization that seemed to know exactly what it was doing from the moment it began. Its purpose clear, its design flawless. The tablets felt like more than records. They were a bridge to a past that felt both distant and impossibly close. A past that whispered of a knowledge too perfect to have been born in the hands of those who held the stylus. The scribe's vigil. Picture another scribe, a woman named Inanna, working by the light of an oil lamp, its flame casting flickering shadows on the walls of her small chamber. The air heavy with the scent of burning wick, river mud, and the faint sweetness of date wine. The tablet before her is soft and cool to the touch, its surface yielding under her stylus, each mark a prayer, each wedge a vow to preserve. She is copying a hymn to the goddess Inanna, her fingers moving with care, her breath slow and steady, matching the rhythm of the night outside, where the stars gleam like scattered jewels. The words she writes speak of creation, of order brought from chaos, of knowledge gifted by beings who came from the stars. Their voices soft as moonlight, their wisdom vast as the heavens. But as she works, Inanna feels the weight of something unspoken, a truth that lies not in the words themselves, but in the act of writing them, in the careful precision of each mark. She pauses, her eyes tracing the tablet's surface, its wedges like stars in a clay sky, their patterns a map to a past she cannot see but can feel. A past that hums in the silence, a past that calls to her in her dreams. She wonders about the first scribes, the ones who pressed the first marks into clay, their hands steady with purpose, their hearts heavy with responsibility. Did they feel the same weight, the same urgency? Were they writing to create or to remember? The hymn speaks of the me, the divine laws that govern writing, law, and the stars. But it also speaks of loss, of a time when the world was broken and remade, its fragments scattered like dust in the wind. Inanna presses another wedge, her breath slow and steady, and feels the tablet as a bridge to that lost world. A lifeline to a truth that must not be forgotten, a truth that invites her to drift, to let go, to surrender to the quiet of sleep. The tablets of Sumer, like the one Inanna holds, are more than records. They are a lifeline, a way to hold on to something that might otherwise slip away. Their wedges a language of memory, a language of preservation. Their precision, their complexity suggest not invention but restoration, as if the Sumerians were not creating a new world, but rebuilding one that had been lost, following a blueprint they could only half remember. And in that act of rebuilding, they left us a question. What were they so desperate to preserve? What knowledge drove them to carve their truths into clay, to align their cities with the stars, to guard a memory that feels both ancient and urgent, the echo of ancient knowledge? In the flickering lamplight of his tent, Wooly pored over his findings, the air heavy with the scent of oil and dust, the night outside alive with the chirp of crickets, the distant howl of a jackal, the soft rustle of palm fronds in the breeze. How does a civilization appear without showing its work, without leaving a trail of mistakes, of faltering steps toward mastery? The mathematics alone defied explanation. The Sumerians' base 60 system allowed for calculations so elegant we still use it to divide our hours into minutes, our circles into degrees, its logic a thread woven through time, from ancient clay to the clocks on our walls, from the ziggurats of Uruk to the compasses of today. This wasn't the practical counting of shepherds tallying flocks. It was theoretical mathematics, the kind that requires abstract thought rediscovered only in the Renaissance, its precision a marvel that hums in the silence, a marvel that feels like a gift. Their astronomy was even more astonishing. Night after night, Sumerian stargazers stood on rooftops, their eyes tracing planets across a sky unmarred by city lights. The air cool and scented with river reeds, tamarisk, and the faint smoke of distant fires. The stars were a dazzling tapestry, each point of light a story, each constellation a map to a truth they could only half understand. They knew Venus was one planet, not two, despite its shifting guises as morning and evening star. A realization that eluded other cultures for centuries, its truth a whisper in the dark. They predicted eclipses and calculated celestial cycles with a precision that seems impossible without telescopes. Their observations recorded in cuneiform with a clarity that rivaled modern star charts, their tablets a testament to a knowledge that felt eternal. At Eridu, the city they claimed was the first ever built, archaeologists found a temple rebuilt 17 times, each layer identical to the last, as if preserving a sacred blueprint, a map to the heavens. The same proportions, the same stellar alignments repeated with obsessive care across centuries, the stones whispering of a knowledge too precious to lose, their surfaces cool under the touch of moonlight, their weight a vow to remember. The air in Eridu feels heavy, not with the weight of time, but with the weight of memory, as if the builders were driven by a fear of forgetting something vital. Something that held the world together. Picture the workers, their hands calloused from hauling stone, their eyes fixed on the stars, measuring angles with chords and shadows. Their work a prayer to preserve what they had been taught. Their breath slow and steady, matching the rhythm of the cosmos. What were they so desperate to protect? What memory drove them to carve their truths into clay and stone, to align their temples with stars that had long since shifted in the heavens? The myths offer a clue, speaking of the Anunnaki, those who came down from heaven, who taught humanity to read the stars, to measure time, to build cities that mirrored the cosmos. The word me appears again and again in their texts, not as laws created but as principles recovered, retrieved from chaos, restored to order. Their truth a lifeline to a past that feels both distant and impossibly close. The Sumerians weren't inventing civilization. They were reconstructing it, following a blueprint they could only half remember. Their work a vow to hold fast to a truth that hums in the silence, a truth that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. The stargazer's vigil. Imagine a stargazer, an elder named Ninhursag, standing atop a ziggurat in the dead of night, her cloak wrapped tightly against the desert chill, her breath visible in the cool air. The sky above is a canvas of infinite black, studded with stars that seem to pulse with life, their light a soft caress on her weathered face. The air is sharp with the scent of tamarisk river water and the faint smoke of distant fires, the silence broken only by the soft chirp of crickets, the occasional cry of a night bird. She holds a clay tablet, its surface marked with the paths of planets, the cycles of the moon, the dance of constellations, each wedge a testament to a knowledge she guards with her life. Ninhursag knows the stories of the Anunnaki, the teachers who came from the heavens, their voices soft as starlight, their knowledge vast as the sky, their presence a fleeting glimpse of something greater. She has heard the tales of the great flood, the deluge that washed away the world, leaving only fragments of what was, its waters a mirror of chaos. Her tablet is a record of their teachings, a map of the stars that guided her people to this moment. Its wedges a language of memory, a language of preservation. But as she watches, she feels a pang of doubt, not in the stars, but in her own understanding. Who taught her ancestors to see the sky this way? And why does it feel as if the knowledge is slipping away like sand through her fingers, like a dream fading at dawn? Her vigil is one of many, a chain of watchers stretching back through the centuries, each one guarding the stars, preserving their patterns for a future they cannot see. Their work a vow to hold fast to a truth that feels both ancient and urgent. The tablets they leave behind are not just records but anchors, holding fast to a knowledge that feels older than the earth itself, a knowledge that hums in the silence, a knowledge that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the quiet of sleep. And as Ninhursag stands there, her breath slow and steady, she feels the presence of those ancient teachers. Their guidance a whisper in the wind, a lullaby that carries her toward the stars, toward the gentle embrace of dreams. The missing chapters of history. The textbook story is simple, a narrative polished by centuries of repetition, its edges smoothed by time. Around 3500 BCE, nomadic tribes settled between the Tigris and Euphrates, their agricultural surplus sparking the slow rise of civilization. They tilled the soil, built villages, and gradually learned the arts of writing, law, and architecture, their progress a steady climb from darkness to light. It's a tidy tale, logical and comforting, fitting neatly into our understanding of progress, like a river finding its course through a barren land. But the evidence resists it, like a stone that refuses to fit into a wall, its edges too sharp, its shape too strange, its presence a challenge to everything we thought we knew. Where are the failed experiments, the crude early tools, the collapsed walls that mark a culture's learning? Every other civilization leaves a trail of mistakes. Pottery that cracks, buildings that lean, scripts that stumble toward clarity, their imperfections a testament to the human struggle to grow. In Sumer, the earliest layers show sophistication. Standardized writing, engineered canals, complex laws that govern everything from trade to marriage. Their clarity a marvel that seems to defy the age they come from. The cuneiform tablets aren't primitive scratches, they're organized records complete with mathematical calculations and legal terminology. Their wedges a language of order, a language of memory. The irrigation channels aren't simple ditches, they're engineered waterways with locks, gates, and distribution systems. Their design so precise it could water a modern city. Their efficiency a testament to a knowledge that feels eternal. Beneath Sumer's foundations there's absence, not the natural emptiness of an uninhabited land, but a deliberate void, as if someone swept away the traces of what came before, leaving only the faint outlines of a story we cannot read. The air in those deep layers feels heavy, not with the weight of time, but with the weight of something erased, like a house where every family portrait has been removed, leaving only the ghosts of their frames on the walls. The Sumerians' myths hint at this absence, speaking of the Anunnaki, those who came down from heaven, delivering the Me, cosmic principles of writing, law, and astronomy, their truth a lifeline to a past that feels both distant and impossibly close. These weren't myths of creation, but of recovery, as if the Sumerians were rebuilding something lost, following plans they didn't fully understand. Their work a vow to hold fast to a truth that hums in the silence. Their word for writing, Sar, meant not just to write, but to order, to preserve, to remember. As if their script was a lifeline to a knowledge slipping away. A way to anchor themselves to a past that was fading like a dream. The tablets they left behind feel like a message, a plea to future generations to hold fast to what they had been given, to guard a truth that feels both sacred and fragile. But what was it they were so desperate to preserve? What knowledge drove them to carve their truths into clay, to align their cities with the stars, to build a world that felt like a reconstruction of something greater? The silence beneath their cities is heavy with this question, a silence that invites you to listen, to drift, to let go. The survivor's tale. Picture a survivor, an elder whose name is lost to time, standing on the banks of the Euphrates, the air thick with the scent of mud and loss, the ground beneath her feet soft and yielding, like the clay of a tablet waiting to be inscribed. The floodwaters have receded, leaving behind a world both familiar and strange, its contours reshaped, its memories scattered like leaves on the wind. She holds a clay tablet, its surface marked with the story of what was lost, a story she will pass to her children and they to theirs. A story that hums with the weight of truth. The elders speak of a time before the flood, a time when the world was different, when great beings walked among them, teaching them to build, to write, to read the stars. The tablet is a promise, a vow to remember, even as the details fade, even as the world moves on. She presses her stylus into the clay, her hands steady with purpose, her breath slow and rhythmic, matching the pulse of the river beside her. The story she writes is one of loss, but also of hope. of a world remade from the fragments of what was, of a knowledge that must not be forgotten. The flood myths of Sumer, like the survivor's tale, are not unique. They echo across the world, from the Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh to the Hebrew story of Noah, from the Vedic tale of Manu to the Mayan Popol Vuh, from the Aboriginal Dreamtime stories of the rainbow serpent to the Chinese legend of Nuwa. How could such distant cultures separated by oceans and mountains share the same memory? Unless it was rooted in a truth older than their cities, older than the rivers that cradled them. The air in their myths feels heavy with memory, as if the earth itself remembers a time when the waters rose, when the world was unmade and remade, its fragments scattered like stars in the sky. And as you listen to this tale, you can feel the pull of that memory, the gentle weight of its mystery, drawing you deeper into the quiet of sleep, inviting you to let go, to drift, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The whisper of Göbekli Tepe. Now let's journey further back to a time before Sumer, before the first cities rose, before the rivers carved their paths through the earth. In the hills of modern-day Turkey, beneath a sky heavy with the weight of ages, lies Göbekli Tepe, its stone pillars standing tall since 9600 BCE, their presence a testament to a time we cannot fully understand. Picture T-shaped monoliths, some 20 feet high, carved with intricate animals, lions, serpents, birds, watching over the landscape like silent sentinels, their surfaces worn by millennia of wind and rain, their weight a vow to endure. The air is crisp, scented with wild herbs, pine, and ancient earth. The stones cool under your touch, their texture rough and grounding like the skin of the earth itself. These weren't built by settled farmers, but by hunter-gatherers, people we thought lacked the tools or knowledge for such feats, their lives bound to the rhythms of the wild. Yet Göbekli Tepe's pillars are aligned with stars, their carvings suggesting a deep understanding of the cosmos, their placement so precise it defies explanation, their purpose a mystery that hums in the silence. The animals etched into the stone, snakes coiling, birds soaring, lions prowling, seem to tell a story, but the language is lost, the meaning hidden in the shadows of time. And why, after centuries of worship, did they bury their monument, covering it with earth as if to hide it from the future, to seal it away for a time that might one day understand? The silence of Göbekli Tepe feels deliberate, like a message written in stone, a message that invites you to listen, to drift, to let go. The builder's vision. Imagine a builder at Göbekli Tepe, a man named Karu, his hands rough from shaping stone, his eyes fixed on the horizon where the first stars are beginning to appear, their light a soft promise in the gathering dusk. The air is cool, scented with pine, wild thyme, and the faint tang of earth, the ground beneath him vibrating with the energy of creation, its pulse a reminder of the life that flows through all things. Karu and his people are not farmers. They roam the hills, hunting and gathering, their lives bound to the rhythms of the wild. Yet they have built something extraordinary, a circle of stones that mirrors the sky, its pillars aligned with constellations that guide their lives, their purpose a mystery that feels both ancient and urgent. Karu doesn't know why he builds, only that he must, his hands driven by a vision he cannot fully grasp. The elders speak of a time before, a time of great beings who taught his people to read the stars, to carve stone, to dream of something greater. Their voices soft as the wind, their wisdom vast as the heavens. The pillars are a testament to that dream, a way to hold on to a truth that feels both sacred and fragile, their weight a vow to remember. As he works, the stars above seem to watch, their light a silent blessing, their patterns a map he cannot fully read, their presence a guide through the darkness. And when the time comes to bury the stones to cover them with earth, Karoo feels a pang of loss, but also a sense of purpose, as if the stones are meant for a future he will never see, a future that might one day understand. The burial is a ritual, a sealing of a secret, a vow to protect what his people have been given. And as he scatters the earth, his breath slow and steady, he feels the presence of those ancient teachers, their guidance a whisper in the wind, a lullaby that carries him toward the quiet of sleep. A lullaby that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night, the enigma of the Indus. Let's wander now to the banks of the Indus River, where another mystery awaits, its secrets carried on the warm, spice-scented breeze, its presence a gentle hum in the air. Around 2600 BCE, the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro rose, their streets laid out with a precision that rivals Sumer's, their walls built with standardized bricks that fit together like pieces of a cosmic puzzle, their surfaces smooth and cool under the touch of the sun. Imagine walking through Mohenjo-Daro, the air alive with the scent of baked clay, saffron, jasmine, and the faint tang of river water. The streets bustling with the hum of daily life. Children laughing, merchants calling out, the clatter of ox carts on stone, the soft chant of priests in the distance. The city's grid is flawless, its buildings aligned with a geometric precision that suggests a deep understanding of order, their design a testament to a knowledge that feels eternal. The drainage systems are so advanced they could function in a modern city, their channels carrying water with a quiet efficiency that speaks of engineering mastery, their walls lined with baked clay that gleams in the sunlight. Yet, like Sumer, the Indus Valley civilization appears fully formed, with no trace of the gradual learning we expect, no clumsy first attempts, no faltering steps toward mastery. Their script, still undeciphered, dances across seals and tablets, its symbols a locked door to their thoughts, each mark a whisper of a language we cannot hear, a language that hums with the weight of memory. The people of the Indus lived in peace, their cities free of defensive walls, as if they knew no war, only harmony, their lives bound to the rhythms of the river and the land. Their artifacts, seals carved with unicorns, figurines of dancers, weights measured with mathematical precision, suggest a culture of sophistication and balance, their creations a testament to a knowledge that feels both ancient and urgent. And their myths, like those of Sumer, speak of a great flood, a deluge that reshaped the world, its waters a mirror of chaos, its memory a thread that stretches across continents, across time. Did they too inherit their knowledge from a lost source, a civilization erased by the waters, its fragments scattered like stars in the sky? The Indus whispers its secrets, but like Sumer, it guards them closely. Its silence a lullaby for your drifting mind, a lullaby that invites you to let go, to drift, to surrender to the quiet of sleep. The artisan's craft. Picture an artisan in Mohenjo-Daro, a woman named Lila, her hands deftly shaping clay into a small figurine, her fingers tracing the curves of a dancer frozen in mid-motion, her movements a dance of their own. The air is warm, scented with sandalwood, cumin, and the faint tang of river water. The light of a setting sun casting golden shadows across her workshop, its glow a soft embrace on her skin. Leela's work is precise, her tools honed to perfection, their edges sharp and sure, but her mind is filled with questions, her heart heavy with a truth she cannot fully grasp. The elders speak of a time when the world was different, when teachers came from afar, bringing knowledge of measurement, of art, of order, their voices soft as the river, their wisdom vast as the sky. They taught her people to build cities, to carve seals, to live in harmony with the earth, to create something that would endure. Leela's figurine is a tribute to that knowledge, its delicate lines a reflection of a truth she feels but cannot name, its form a prayer to remember. As she works, she hums a song her mother taught her, a melody that tells of a flood that changed everything, of a world remade from the ruins of what was, its notes a thread that stretches back to a time before the city, before the river, before the silence. The song is old, older than the city, older than the river, and it carries a weight that makes her heart ache, a weight that feels both sacred and fragile. She places the figurine in a kiln, the heat sealing its form, its glow a promise of endurance, and feels a sense of purpose, as if her work, like the city itself, is a way of holding on to something precious, something that must not be forgotten. The artifacts of the Indus, like Lila's figurine, are more than objects. They are memories, fragments of a story that stretches back to a time before the flood, before the cities, before the silence. Their presence a gentle pull toward the quiet of sleep, a pull that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The riddle of Çatalhöyük. Let's journey now to the plains of Anatolia, to the ancient settlement of Çatalhöyük, built around 7000 BCE, long before Sumer's cities rose, long before the rivers carved their paths through the earth. Picture a cluster of mud brick homes, their walls plastered smooth, their rooftops open to the sky, their surfaces warm under the touch of the sun. The air is cool, scented with wild grasses, thyme, and the smoke of communal fires. The sound of daily life, a soft hum in the distance. Children playing, the clink of tools, the murmur of voices sharing stories. The people of Çatalhöyük lived in a world without streets, their homes connected by ladders and rooftops, their lives intertwined with the rhythms of the earth, their hearts bound to the land. The walls of their homes are adorned with paintings, leopards, bulls, geometric patterns that seem to pulse with meaning, their colors vibrant even after millennia, their forms a language we cannot fully read. Beneath the floors they buried their dead as if to keep their ancestors close, their spirits a part of the living world, their presence a comfort in the darkness. The figurines they crafted, seated goddesses, animals, abstract forms, suggest a deep connection to the unseen, a knowledge of the sacred that feels older than the settlement itself, older than the earth they walked. And like Göbekli Tepe, Çatalhöyük was abandoned, its purpose fulfilled, its secrets buried beneath layers of earth, its silence a testament to a truth we cannot fully grasp. Archaeologists have found no evidence of a gradual evolution at Çatalhöyük. The earliest homes are as sophisticated as the later ones, their walls as smooth, their paintings as complex, their burial practices as deliberate. The absence of developmental stages is striking. as if the people of Çatalhöyük knew exactly what they were doing from the moment they began, their hands guided by a knowledge that feels eternal. Their myths, preserved in fragments, speak of a time when the world was guided by divine forces, by beings who taught humanity to honor the earth and sky, to paint their dreams, to bury their dead with care. Were these the same teachers who visited Sumer, who shaped the pillars of Göbekli Tepe, who guided the builders of the Indus? The silence of Çatalhöyük is heavy with this question, a silence that invites you to let go, to drift, to surrender to the mystery, to the gentle pull of sleep. The painter's vision. Imagine a painter at Çatalhöyük, a young man named Teshub, his hands stained with ochre and charcoal, his eyes fixed on the wall before him, its surface smooth and cool under his touch. The air is warm, scented with the earthy tang of mud brick, the faint sweetness of wildflowers, the smoke of a nearby hearth. Teshub is painting a leopard, its form leaping across the plaster, its eyes fierce and alive, its body a dance of power and grace. The image comes to him as if from a dream, a vision of a world beyond his own. A world where animals and humans are bound by a sacred thread, their lives intertwined in a dance as old as the earth. The elders tell stories of a time when the world was young, when great beings walked among them, teaching them to paint, to bury their dead, to live in harmony with the land, their voices soft as the breeze, their wisdom vast as the sky. Teshub feels the truth of these stories in his bones, in the rhythm of his brushstrokes, in the quiet hum of the settlement around him, its pulse a reminder of the life that flows through all things. The leopard is a guardian, a symbol of something older, something lost, its eyes a window to a past he cannot see but can feel. As he paints, he feels a connection to that lost world, a sense that his work is a way of remembering, of holding on to a truth that must not fade, a truth that hums in the silence. The paintings of Çatalhöyük, like Teshub's leopard, are more than art. They are a language, a way of speaking to the future, of preserving a knowledge that feels both ancient and urgent, a knowledge that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of sleep. And as you listen to this tale, you can feel the pull of that knowledge, the gentle weight of its mystery drawing you deeper into the quiet of the night, into the soft embrace of dreams, the mystery of Stonehenge. Now let's travel to the rolling plains of Salisbury, England, where the stones of Stonehenge stand against the sky, their origins shrouded in mystery, their presence a testament to a time we cannot fully understand. Built around 3000 BCE, these massive monoliths, some weighing 50 tons, were hauled from distant quarries, their placement a feat of engineering that defies explanation, their weight a vow to endure. Picture the stones in the twilight, their surfaces rough and cool under your touch, the air scented with damp grass, heather, and ancient earth, the silence broken only by the distant call of a night bird, its cry a soft echo in the dusk. The stones are arranged in a circle aligned with the solstices, their positions marking the passage of the sun and stars, their design a map of the cosmos. The builders of Stonehenge, a people we know little about, left no written records, no clear evidence of their purpose. Yet the precision of the monument suggests a deep understanding of astronomy, a knowledge of the heavens that rivals Sumer's star charts. The stones seem to hum with purpose, as if they were meant to anchor something vital, to hold fast to a truth that might otherwise be lost, their weight a vow to remember. The air around them feels heavy, not with the weight of time, but with the weight of memory, as if the stones themselves are guardians of a secret we cannot yet read. The myths of the region speak of giants, of wizards, of ancient beings who moved the stones with magic or divine power, their voices carried on the wind, their wisdom vast as the sky. Were these stories echoes of the same teachers who visited Sumer, who guided the builders of Göbekli Tepe, who shaped the cities of the Indus? The silence of Stonehenge is heavy with this question. A silence that feels like a lullaby, drawing you deeper into the quiet of the night, into the soft embrace of sleep. The stonekeeper's duty. Picture a stonekeeper at Stonehenge, an elder named Bran, his cloak heavy with dew, his hands resting on the rough surface of a monolith, its texture grounding him in the present even as his mind wanders to the past. The air is cool, scented with heather, damp earth, and the faint tang of salt from a distant sea. The stars above bright and unyielding, their light a soft caress on his weathered face. Bran is one of many who tend the stones, their duty to ensure the alignments remain true, to keep the solstice markers in place, to honor the rhythms of the earth and sky. The elders speak of a time when the sky was different, when great beings taught humanity to measure the seasons, to honor the turning of the earth, to build something that would endure. Bran feels the weight of this duty, the stones a testament to a knowledge he cannot fully grasp, their presence a vow to remember. He traces the carvings on the monolith, faint lines that might be a map of the stars, a record of a forgotten truth, their meaning hidden in the shadows of time. The stones are a promise, a vow to hold fast to a truth that feels both ancient and urgent, a truth that hums in the silence. And as Bran stands there, his breath slow and steady, he feels the presence of those ancient teachers, their guidance a whisper in the wind, a lullaby that carries him toward the quiet of sleep, a lullaby that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The stones of Stonehenge, like Bran's vigil, are a link to a past we cannot see, a past that feels both distant and impossibly close, their presence a gentle pull toward the quiet of dreams. The secrets of Corral Soup. Let's journey now across the ocean to the arid valleys of Peru, where the ancient city of Corral Soup stands, its pyramids rising from the desert like silent sentinels. Their origins shrouded in mystery. Built around 2600 BCE, contemporary with the Indus and Sumer, Corral Soup is one of the oldest cities in the Americas, its stones a testament to a time we cannot fully understand. Picture the pyramids, their surfaces worn by wind and time, their steps climbing toward the sky, the air warm and scented with desert blooms, cactus fruit and the faint tang of salt from a distant sea. The silence broken only by the soft rustle of palm fronds in the breeze. The city is laid out with a precision that rivals Mohenjo-Daro, its plazas and amphitheaters aligned with celestial events, their design a map of the cosmos. The people of Corral Soup were not warriors. Their city shows no signs of conflict, only harmony, their lives bound to the rhythms of the land and sky. Their artifacts, flutes carved from bone, textiles woven with intricate patterns, quipus, knotted cords that may have recorded knowledge, suggest a culture of sophistication and balance, their creations a testament to a knowledge that feels both ancient and urgent. and their myths, preserved in fragments, speak of a time when the world was guided by divine forces, by beings who taught humanity to honor the earth and sky, to weave their dreams into cloth and cord. Archaeologists have found no evidence of a gradual evolution at Corral Soup. The earliest structures are as sophisticated as the later ones, their design as precise, their purpose as clear. The absence of developmental stages is striking, as if the people of Corral Soup knew exactly what they were doing from the moment they began, their hands guided by a knowledge that feels eternal. The silence of Corral Soup is heavy with this question, a silence that invites you to listen, to drift, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. The Weaver's Song. Imagine a weaver at Corral Soup, a woman named Aya, her hands deftly threading cotton through a loom, her fingers weaving patterns that seem to pulse with meaning. The air is warm, scented with desert blooms, cactus fruit, and the faint tang of river water. The light of a setting sun casting golden shadows across her workshop. Its glow a soft embrace on her skin. Aya's work is precise, her patterns intricate, each thread a story, each knot a memory, but her mind is filled with questions, her heart heavy with a truth she cannot fully grasp. The elders speak of a time when the world was young, when great beings taught humanity to weave, to build, to honor the rhythms of the earth and sky, their voices soft as the breeze, their wisdom vast as the desert. Aya's textile is a tribute to that knowledge, its patterns a reflection of the stars, the rivers, the cycles of life, its colors a prayer to remember. As she works, she sings a song her mother taught her, a melody that tells of a time before when the world was different, when the land and sky were one. The song is old, older than the city, older than the rivers, and it carries a weight that makes her heart ache, a weight that feels both sacred and fragile. She ties another knot, her breath slow and steady, and feels the textile as a bridge to a past she cannot see but can feel. A past that hums in the silence. The textiles of Corral Soup, like Aya's work, are more than cloth. They are memories, fragments of a story that stretches back to a time before the cities, before the silence. Their presence a gentle pull toward the quiet of sleep, a pull that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The enigma of the Egyptian pyramids. Let's travel now to the banks of the Nile, where the pyramids of Giza stand against the sky, their origins a mystery that has captivated humanity for millennia. Built around 2600 BCE, contemporary with Corral Soup and the Indus, these massive structures, some rising over 400 feet, were crafted with a precision that defies explanation, their stones a testament to a time we cannot fully understand. Picture the Great Pyramid, its limestone casing gleaming in the sunlight, its surface smooth and cool under your touch, the air warm and scented with desert dust, lotus, and the faint tang of river water. The silence broken only by the soft call of an ibis in the distance. The pyramids are aligned with the cardinal points and the stars, their design a map of the cosmos, their purpose a mystery that hums in the silence. The builders of the pyramids, the ancient Egyptians, left records of their lives, but the construction of these monuments remains a puzzle, their methods a secret lost to time. The stones, some weighing 80 tons, were quarried, transported, and placed with a precision that suggests a deep understanding of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy, a knowledge that feels both ancient and urgent. Their myths speak of gods who walked among them, of Osiris and Thoth, who taught humanity to build, to measure, to honor the stars, their voices soft as the Nile, their wisdom vast as the desert. Were these the same teachers who visited Sumer, who guided the builders of Göbekli Tepe, who shaped the cities of the Indus and Karal Soup? The silence of the pyramids is heavy with this question, a silence that invites you to listen, to drift, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. The stonemason's craft. Imagine a stonemason at Giza, a man named Khepri, his hands rough from shaping stone, his eyes fixed on the massive block before him, its surface cool and smooth under his touch. The air is warm, scented with desert dust, papyrus, and the faint tang of river water. The light of a setting sun casting golden shadows across the quarry, its glow a soft embrace on his skin. Khepri's work is precise, his tools honed to perfection, each strike of his chisel a prayer, each angle a vow to honor the stars. The elders speak of a time when the gods walked among them, teaching humanity to build, to measure, to align their monuments with the heavens. Their voices soft as the breeze, their wisdom vast as the sky. Khepri's stone is a testament to that knowledge, its placement a reflection of the stars, its weight a vow to remember. As he works, he hums a chant his father taught him, a melody that tells of a time when the world was young, when the gods shaped the earth and sky, when humanity was given a gift that must not be forgotten. The chant is old, older than the pyramids, older than the Nile, and it carries a weight that makes his heart ache, a weight that feels both sacred and fragile. He places the stone, his breath slow and steady, and feels the pyramid as a bridge to a past he cannot see but can feel, a past that hums in the silence. The pyramids of Giza, like Khepri's stone, are more than monuments. They are memories, fragments of a story that stretches back to a time before the flood, before the cities, before the silence. Their presence a gentle pull toward the quiet of sleep, a pull that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The mystery of Yonaguni. Let's journey now to the waters off the coast of Japan, where the Yonaguni monument lies beneath the sea, its origins a mystery that has puzzled archaeologists and divers alike. Discovered in 1986, this massive stone structure, some believe a natural formation, others a human-made monument, dates back to at least 8,000 BCE. Its steps and terraces submerged beneath the waves, their surfaces worn by time and tide. Picture the monument, its stones cool and slick under your touch, the water around it shimmering with the light of the sun above. The air scented with salt and seaweed, the silence broken only by the soft lapping of waves, their rhythm a lullaby that echoes the pulse of the earth. The structure is aligned with celestial events, its terraces suggesting a design that mirrors the cosmos, its purpose a mystery that hums in the silence. If human-made, the Yonaguni monument would predate Göbekli Tepe. Its builders a people we know nothing about, their knowledge a secret lost to the waves. The myths of Japan speak of ancient gods, of Amaterasu and Susanoo who shaped the land and sea, their voices carried on the wind, their wisdom vast as the ocean. Were these the same teachers who visited Sumer, who guided the builders of Göbekli Tepe, who shaped the cities of the Indus, Karal Soup, and Giza? The silence of Yonaguni is heavy with this question, a silence that invites you to listen, to drift, to surrender to the gentle pull of sleep. The diver's quest. Imagine a diver at Yonaguni, a woman named Kaida. her body weightless in the water, her hands tracing the smooth surfaces of the submerged stones, their texture cool and slick under her fingers. The water is clear, shimmering with the light of the sun above, the air filled with the scent of salt and seaweed, the silence broken only by the soft rhythm of her breath, the gentle lapping of waves against the shore. Kaida's dive is a quest, a search for a truth that lies hidden beneath the sea, a truth that feels both ancient and urgent. The elders speak of a time when the land and sea were one, when great beings taught humanity to shape stone, to honor the rhythms of the earth and sky, their voices soft as the waves, their wisdom vast as the ocean. Kaida's touch is gentle, her movements precise, each stroke a prayer, each discovery a vow to remember. As she swims, she feels a connection to that lost world, a sense that the stones are a bridge to a past she cannot see but can feel, a past that hums in the silence. The monument is a mystery, its steps and terraces a map to a truth that lies just beyond her grasp, a truth that invites her to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the sea. The stones of Yonaguni, like Kaida's quest, are more than a monument. They are memories, fragments of a story that stretches back to a time before the flood, before the cities, before the silence, their presence a gentle pull toward the quiet of sleep, a pull that invites you to drift, to let go, to surrender to the gentle rhythm of the night. The starlit path to sleep, as you lie there, sinking deeper into the softness of your bed. Let these ancient mysteries drift through your mind like stars across a desert sky, their light soft and eternal, their presence a gentle caress. The Sumerians, the builders of Göbekli Tepe, the people of the Indus, the artisans of Çatalhöyük, the stonekeepers of Stonehenge, the weavers of Karal Supe, the stonemasons of Giza, the divers of Yonaguni, they are all part of a vast unseen tapestry, woven from threads of memory and time. Their stories intertwined with the rhythm of the cosmos, their voices a soft hum in the silence of the night. You don't need to solve their riddles tonight. Let them float, gentle and weightless. As your breath slows, your body surrenders, and your mind drifts toward the quiet of sleep. Feel the warmth of the desert fading, replaced by the cool embrace of the night, its touch soft and soothing like a blanket drawn over your shoulders. The questions of lost civilizations, of teachers from the stars, dissolve into a peaceful stillness, like ripples fading on a calm lake, their edges softening, their presence a gentle hum. Your mind, having wandered through the echoes of the past, is ready to rest, to let go, to surrender to the gentle pull of dreams. The stones, the tablets, the paintings, the textiles, the stars, they all fade into the distance, leaving only the soft hum of silence, the quiet comfort of the present moment, the gentle rhythm of your breath. Picture yourself lying beneath that ancient sky, the stars above Sumer, above Göbekli Tepe, above the Indus, above Çatalhöyük, above Stonehenge, above Karal Supe, above Giza, above Yonaguni, watching over you, their light soft and eternal, their presence a gentle embrace. The air is cool, scented with the faint sweetness of night-blooming flowers, the distant tang of salt, the earthy warmth of ancient stone. The silence broken only by the gentle rhythm of your breath, its cadence slow and steady like the pulse of the earth itself. The mysteries of the past are there, waiting, but they are patient, content to let you rest, to let you drift, to let you surrender to the quiet of the night. Let your thoughts dissolve like mist in the morning sun, carried away on the wind, leaving only peace, only calm, only the gentle drift into dreams. The tablets of Sumer, the pillars of Göbekli Tepe, the seals of the Indus, the paintings of Çatalhöyük, the stones of Stonehenge, the textiles of Kral Supe, the pyramids of Giza, the submerged terraces of Yonaguni. They are all part of a story that stretches beyond time, a story that holds you gently as you drift, their weight a soft anchor, their presence a lullaby that carries you deeper into the quiet of sleep. Feel the world around you fading, its edges softening, its sounds growing distant like the echo of a wave on a far shore. The stars above are watching, their light a soft caress, their patterns a map to a truth you don't need to understand tonight. Let the mysteries of the past cradle you, their secrets safe in the silence, their stories a gentle hum in the night. Your breath is slow, your body heavy, your mind weightless, drifting like a leaf on a quiet stream. Carried toward the soft embrace of dreams, sleep deeply, dear traveler. Let the stars of ancient skies cradle you, their light a soft embrace, their secrets safe in the silence of the night. The Sumerians' tablets, the pillars of Göbekli Tepe, the seals of the Indus, the paintings of Çatalhöyük, the stones of Stonehenge, the textiles of Kral Supe, the pyramids of Giza, the submerged terraces of Yonaguni. They are all part of a story that stretches beyond time, a story that holds you gently as you drift, their presence a vow to remember, a vow to rest. And perhaps in the soft folds of your dreams you'll hear a whisper, a memory from a time long forgotten, a voice soft as starlight calling you gently into the unknown, guiding you into the deepest, most restorative slumber. Good night,